general vicinity. The way detect magic works, so this is first round you can detect the presence or absence of magical auras. Second round, you can tell how many magical auras.
And unless we're in combat, you might as well just skip this.
Yes. So.
Well, now I know what detect magic does in this setting.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you know that because this is the first time we're using that. You can sense that it is you can sense that the weapon is magical in some way.
Does he inform me of such?
I do. Lass, it looks like you got yourself a magic tool. Nice dagger.
I would attempt. I attempt to activate whatever it does with my use magic device thingy.
Oh God, no!
Nothing
You
happens.
cut yourself.
Activate the use magic
You cut
device.
yourself.
Nothing happens. I didn't
Do you want to
even
look?
roll
Do you want to
yet.
look at it closely?
I do. I wish to examine the magical item.
I ask again if I can see the journal.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you want to hand
hand
him
it
the
to
journal?
you, of course.
All right.
It was in
And
a
it did
bag.
not. It did not detect magic.
He did not detect magic from the journal.
Okay, I read it.
What did you say was in the bag, Shiro? Was it? It was 250 gold, the journal, and that was
250
it, right?
gold, the journal, and my dagger.
You have the dagger in hand. Okay.
Yes, I equipped it immediately.
Does that pop up on your screen?
Okay. Yes.
What pop up?
It's for the person who has it right now, unless he wants to show
Oh,
this to
okay.
everybody.
I would like to
Um,
examine the dagger while he examines the book.
The dagger looks like a fairly ordinary kris. The blade is a little bit curved. The edge is of a lighter metal, like the actual like cutting blade edge is a little bit lighter than the rest of the blade. Like it has a bit more of a sheen to it. But otherwise, it looks fairly ordinary.
Could I knowledge arcana to see if I recognize it at all?
You do not. Give me a roll. I need a roll for that, actually. You recognize it as elven made, but it doesn't seem to be any sort of notable blade that you've heard of in legend.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell the dwarf that an elven blade belongs to an elf, and I doubt the mage over there is going to be using it anytime soon.
Lass, rules of adventuring, okay? They're honest, see? You're the one that's shimmied out on that rock, and you found a weapon that suits you, not only because you're a dagger user, but also because you're an elf. Of course you get to keep it. Remember, when you're doing work like this with a group, things that can be split appropriately usually are. But something like that, yeah, it's yours. Besides, I like
Well
to
then,
blunt
how
things.
are we going to split? Then how are we going to split the gold?
See, I
It's gonna
guess that's
cost
going to be
100
up to
gold.
the group here.
It's going to cost 100 gold to identify that if we want to. At least.
That'd be one good way to use it then. I think it's really up to the group. Right? I don't know, what do you think, you lot?
Otherwise, all of us get 50. Potentially they didn't have Gemino, but to be honest, she is the one who got it, so.
I'm fine with 50.
Do we not want to identify it, or do we want to identify it? As I continue
I'm
to
sure
butcher
its
accents.
use will. I'm sure its use will make itself apparent in time.
Gemino Swift-Song fumbles with the dagger. It chops off her head, revealing it to be a Vorpal blade. Snicker snack.
I was the big bad evil guy all along.
It would be a hell of a fumble, to be honest.
Everybody else, since Motive check.
Well, in that case, if you don't want to have it identified, I guess we'll just split it up even. What do the rest of you think?
I don't know. I think she's hiding something from us. She's hidden things from us before.
I'm willing to see if she learned. If she didn't learn, we'll find out sooner or later. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. God damn, I cannot remember how to do dwarf again.
You keep alternating between Irish and Scottish and neither. Pretty
Yeah,
great.
it's really...
it's hard.
I think I need to go drink for a while, and then I might be able to
Yeah, that
accomplish
might
this.
work.
Oh dear.
I could go get the last cider downstairs and then spike it with some whiskey.
Morning Blade, how are you going on looking through the journal?
I just kind of read it.
Do you want to share that with other people?
No, it is.
Or are you guys still handling the gold?
It's knowledge.
And the
It's
knife.
one's exclusive. The knife, so long as I'm concerned. So far as I'm concerned.
Rather than talking about the journal, I am both reading it and calculating all of the gold for how it would split between the party. So instead of talking about the journal, I said that we can either split the gold 50 each, or put 100 of it towards the identification, and each get 30.
I'm fine either way. Gold is gold.
Yeah, I don't think Stone Ewer would know like the perils of identifying or not identifying items, so I think he'd be fine to split it like 5 ways and not immediately identify the item, because he doesn't really know any better, I don't think.
I'm comfortable with either. I'd like to see it identified to make sure it's not cursed, that we didn't just get a dagger of make the elf stab herself in her sleep or something.
Why, gee, I'm so flattered.
Lass, you haven't seen what curses do. I have.
Here's a simple test. Try and put it on the ground.
That's a good point. Try and put it on the ground, see if it's cursed. You won't be able to if it's not.
I
Or
attempt
if it is.
to place the dagger down.
As you put the dagger in your hand on the muddy earth below you, you try to pull your fingers back from its grip and succeed, and it just sits there as if nothing is happening. It's a knife sitting on the ground at everybody's feet.
I
Alright,
pick
that's
up
a good
Alright,
sign.
I suppose.
Such
I'll pick it up
trolly
again.
phrasing, T-Journey.
He's good at that. He made me make a fort save for no reason.
Actually,
I pick up my
Probably
unidentified
made you make
dagger.
a fort save to see if the stink of the bag didn't make you puke in it. It's been sitting under the title line for
Ahem.
how knows long.
That reminds me. Steel shot, take a fort save.
Watch it be poisoned by touch, right?
Well then,
Steel shot, let me remind you, you still have a fish head in your boot.
I refer to my first fortitude check. I'll take the moment to remove that mystical self-teleporting fish head, though, to save my boot from getting worse.
now if you all would not mind, I should probably get to skinning the rest of these things. These
Sure.
beasties.
Well, if we favor golden, I guess we'll all just empty this sack out, and everybody gets 50.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take 10 to go loot each of them if you want.
I might as well roll for more.
Rolls a 1, stabs the stomach, poisons all of us, kills the entire town. These things
happy
aren't
with that.
blowfish, right?
Okay, out of combat. You loot you loot all of the meat from it, and also find some small carved fishbone talismans on it.
I'll leave them on the pile of fish meat that is now neatly
Yeah,
piled
bear in
next
mind
to the
that's
carcass.
just kind of on the ground under one of its legs.
I'm just gonna place that neatly on top of the pile of meat that I've so expertly butchered.
She's good at skinning. She's good at running, balancing, and skinning.
Not so good at anything else, actually.
Stoneweaver, however, was quite impressed by all this. He took her as a person who stole because he had no other way to make a living, but obviously she has some skill in this. He idly wonders why in the world, if she is so skilled at such things, that she is forced to turn to a life of thievery in order to sustain herself.
Does he ask this aloud?
No.
You now have in total 150 pounds of ura or lobstrock meat.
Anyone gonna help me carry this back to the cart?
And then I assist her in
I
carrying it
as
back
well.
to the cart. I'm a dwarf and I'm pretty strong. Well, I'm not that strong, but I'm decently strong, so...
TJ, do I feel that 10 pounds of strangled kelp will be enough?
Yes.
Okay.
That's quite a lot of strangle kelp.
Yeah, I figured.
So we load the 150 pounds of meat.
And the 10 pounds of kelp onto the cart.
And a journal.
Which I still
And
have.
gold. 250 gold pieces.
Yeah, Morningblade is the only one who's actually read the journal so far.
Well, I figured he was still reading.
He really doesn't want to talk about it, does he?
I'll describe it on the way back into town. As it is a leather-bound journal, it describes the town guard schedule, as well as the contents and storage locations of shipments inbound by ship in and out of Menethil Harbor for this month only.
Oh my.
Each day is 2 pages. The left page is the shipment, and the right page is the guard patrol schedules. The description...
Here, I'll hit the show button for the rest of the group if you're showing it to them.
Okay, yeah, I'm basically reading it, so...
As this is all on the way back, like we're done here. We're
Hey,
agreeing.
you
we're
guys
leaving.
are leaving now, right? Do you
Yes,
grab
we
your
are
bucket?
leaving.
That was a 2 gold bucket.
It was a 1 gold bucket with 1 gold fish.
The fish was basically trash.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure that we
Proud-
don't need that bucket.
I'm taking that bucket after rinsing it out thoroughly. I'm gonna do
Really?
things with that bucket to someone. It's gonna be
Okay,
terrible.
you now have a bucket.
And a bucket.
Okay, so I'm gonna point out that with that kind of information, someone with lesser intentions than I could possibly get into all sorts of profitable things.
Profitable things.
Would anybody like to look into the book more deeply?
You mean like actually study it?
Yes.
No, and I keep the book away from anybody else who would do so.
I'm gonna go ahead and sense both of that. Cause that's looking awful fishy. And only
He's the
I'm
only guy
allowed to
who's
be
been
awful
holding
fishy.
it.
That's awful fishy right there.
And I'm not really trying to, like, well, I haven't really given away what I'm doing, but I'm not really trying to hide it super big, so. You can set a DC based on that, TJ. Unless you want me to roll something.